to do that one sort of graphic that you wanted to try out, there's a couple of things you have to do. You have to animate the actual path of your object and use a track matte, which is basically the same thing as a mask in Photoshop. So to start out fresh, I'm just going to delete both of these, and just like that, and I'll make a new composition, 24, and then I already have a solid, which I'll drop inside here. I'm just going to lock it so it's my background, and then I'm going to make a polygon, and I'm going to draw a polygon, hold down shift to keep it straight, and when you drop down polystar, you will notice inside here, if you look at this fully, you'll see that you can change the amount of points. So you can animate it moving between these, but it doesn't do exactly the sort of equal distribution in the way that one animation does. So here I'm going to change this to 8, so I'm left with my 8 points. And then in order to be able to animate the points, I'm going to first center my object, so let's center it in my composition. To change this into animatable points, I need to convert my path into a Bezier path. So I'm going to right click on the name of the object, and this could be a circle, it could be a square, and you go convert to Bezier path. And it gets rid of all of those settings, and now I can actually animate the path inside here. So I'm going to set this forward to about 3 seconds. And what that does is it sets a keyframe for all of these individual points. So I'm going to jump back to 2 seconds, and with my arrow and with selected on the word path, I'm going to bring a couple of these things together. So I'm going to draw a little selection, click on, make sure path is clicked, and I can here drag this into or right about at that point. If I bring it directly on that point, then you'll see that it just becomes a little bit too much. It'll start to overshoot. So now I've got those, so when it will zoom out and go between the two. So if I press space, it now zooms out equally. And let's actually take this one and let's bring all of these down. So we'll make sure I'm selected on the path, select here, and bring all of these down a little bit. If I hold down shift, it'll go straight down. And then I can come in, select here, bring this in a little bit, select here, bring this in a little bit. And you could also, if you undo that, you want these to be perfectly even, click on it, hold down shift, and press with the right arrow. Click here, hold down shift, press with the right arrow. And that way it does the equal sort of steps. I think it's about 5 steps. So then I can come back and we'll repeat that process. So I'll go down to 1 second. I will come up to here and we'll get this looking pretty close. I'm not going to overshoot my previous frame there. Here. And this is where maybe I want this to stay sort of straight. I'm going to bring all of these down. Make sure these are all selected. Bring all of these down like that. There's other ways to do this, but this is one that goes pretty quick. And now when I press, right, and when it's in motion, you won't really see that those are sort of like a little bit overlapped. You could zoom in and really get these straight. You may actually want to get that. You could also use, if you do Control R, you can get the guides to help you out, and maybe that would be something that's helpful. Right, now it'll snap there. These will all be sort of even along that edge. So that may be one thing you want to try. And I'm going to go Command R to get rid of that and to hide those guides, view, and show guides. Zoom back out. And now when we look at this, we'll see that it goes straight out like that. And it grows out from one to the next. So to get it going completely flat, just same thing, make sure path is selected, select, bring all of these down here. And you will have to zoom in, select, bring this down like this one go down like that. And it's okay if it's not perfect, but you can get it pretty close. Then your outside ones, hold down shift and bring them in. Outside ones, hold down shift and bring them in. So now when we do this, it will zoom out and will grow. Then in order to put an image behind it, which is what that other one just has, it doesn't actually have those things animating on the inside, although you could do that, is if I bring in an image. So if I bring in an image and I just put it behind, now what we want to have happen is have this actually expand out and reveal this image underneath. So I'm going to place it where I want to end up. So it's going to be like this. And I need to create a track matte. So in order to do that, I'm going to duplicate this layer. So command, or actually I'm going to hold off on duplicating it. First, I'm going to change its fill to a different color, so it's totally filled, and get rid of the stroke. And now I'm going to make sure my toggle switches and modes shows me track matte. And if I change the layer below to alpha matte, it's going to look at the layer above, and wherever there is content, it will reveal the shape below. So now I'm using this shape layer as a mask that's animated to reveal the element below. So now when I play this forward, we'll see this slowly reveal. It takes a second to load, and it comes up. Then to have that layer on the outside, that stroke, what I'm going to do is duplicate this layer, turn it on, and then make sure right now we just see the fill, turn off your fill, and add a stroke. And there we go. Now you'll see this load up. And if you want to speed it up or reverse it, just shrink these down. I was holding down Alt or Option, and Command C, Command V, Command C, Command V, and Command C, and Command V. And let's take all of these, hold down Alt or Option, stretch them out, hold down Shift to get to snap. And one thing you'll notice is I need all of those paths. So I'm going to copy this entire path. If I jump back to the beginning, press U to reveal the path here, I can delete out this path, Command V, and now they're both timed out together. And you get it doing that same sort of action. You can of course smooth this out, make it a little, you can work on the timing, but this is the basic principle of how to move around some paths and use an alpha mask.